Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. So, we're about a minute and we'll get started. So, hi, everybody. I am Dr. Eric Lullove. Welcome to my live Substack today. It's Wednesday, March 18th at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. I have the privilege and the honor today of getting a half an hour with the woman who makes marginalized leaders successful. And we are presented with Margaret Williams of Anchorage, Alaska, joining us all the way from the frozen tundra of the north. Because I know it's still damn ass cold up there. So, Margaret, welcome
Thank
to
you.
Live.
Thank you
What
so much. Thank you so much,
so
Eric. It was an honor.
No, I haven't even started to introduce you yet. We're getting there. So, just for everybody, if you're not familiar with Margaret, so Margaret is this phenomenal, powerful Black woman who is just a firebrand on Substack with what she says. She is an absolute incredible person whose history of being an organizational and like kind of like a almost like a systemic psychologist when it comes to helping people advance through difficult situations where they find themselves being marginalized in their occupational life, which also translates over to their personal lives because failure in one does not mean success in the other. And it helps to ground themselves. And she's a professional coach. She's retired Army Civilian Corps. So thank you for your service. And she's a mentor to a lot of people on Substack and is looked up very highly in this neighborhood. And I was actually very jealous that she had a full hour with Nick. So so that was I mean, listen, you are as a certified leadership coach, professional coach. I want to know first, because we're going to work our way to where I really want to get with you today, and we have a short window to do it, so I want to move quickly, is how you found yourself up in Anchorage, Alaska, of all places.
Well, being overseas, I can only stay there for so long as a civilian. Obvious reasons, because these tours affect us mentally, emotionally, and mentally. So they really only want us to stay over there for so long, go back home, restart our clock, and then consider other positions. So, knowing that I was near retirement and I've already moved 8 times,
That's a lot
or
of
7
nomadic. That's a nomadic
se
life. Uh-huh.
right, right? I mean, 7 times. So I like, "Okay, I'm going back one more time, get get my time, because this July, I would have 40 years of service." So I was like, "Okay, where can I go where I can make the most money?" Okay, I don't wanna go back to Midwest, okay? I don't wanna go to the west, like California, because I like cooler temperatures. I don't like the heat. Okay, because
You wouldn't do it all right now here. I'm down in South Florida. We get
no,
humid. Not
no,
for you.
that's too no, exactly. I had enough of that from the Midwest. Okay,
Right.
when I lived in Israel, I love the weather. But in the summer, it was just too hot. Just like when you go down to Arizona, it's scorching hot. You come out of the plane, you go right into the fire. I'm like, oh no, it's too hot. It's too hot down there. And they have those scorpions. I like, no, I can't deal with that. So I said, well, I'll choose Alaska because they had a high locality, and then they pay you to live in Alaska.
Mhm.
At that time, the PFD was $3,200 a year.
Wow.
All you were required to do was to live in Alaska 6 months and 1 day. Then you could get that money. Okay. Okay. Well, after Trump got elected, then it went down this past year to $1,000. I
It
like,
got
well, it's not.
dozed.
Yeah, I like it's not even worthy to even stay in Alaska. But what I like about it is I don't like crowds, okay? Because when I lived in Alaska, I could just move my arm right here and somebody was right here up on me. You know, you can feel their breath on your neck. I don't like that. Okay. And I'm like, no, no. I'm like, no, no. So I like to live in Alaska because there's more land here than people. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Also, because I think that Alaska could be maybe 10 size of Texas. I lived in El Paso, so I drove all the way across Texas.
Which takes
Texas
a
is
day.
huge.
Takes a day.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
takes a
absolutely.
day.
So
But
I like.
Anchorage is very temperate though because it's more coastal, so you do get a lot of, marine layer type of temperature coming off of the ocean, so it's
Love that.
yeah.
And it's so peaceful. And I love the mountains. And I also love the water. It's so peaceful. And the winters are so beautiful here. It's just breathtaking all year round. Okay. We
And
got
it
the
doesn't
all.
hurt to live near a glacier.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's one of the things I love. That's the similarities between Michigan and Alaska is the nature, because the nature is so healing. Okay. So with less people, okay, then here come the deer and the moose. I was out walking my dogs, and my dog was barking. He was looking, and I looked and see what he was, and there was a moose. I hauled ass down the street. I like, come on here, because those moose, you get too close, they will stomp you. They can't, So I'm like,
So,
oh,
here's something that I know you do not know about me that I know about you.
oh. Well,
Mhm.
all right,
'Cause I'm gonna say one word and you're gonna immediately know what I'm talking about.
okay,
'Kay?
okay.
Better better made.
Better make potato chips.
Mhm.
Oh, they don't have those here, not that I'm aware of.
No, but they do where we're from.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it was made there, just like, the pop. What you call that?
Vernors?
Like Verner's?
Yep.
Absolutely. Yes, right?
So
Uh-huh.
I'm a native Michigander originally. I was born at Beaumont Hospital. Uh-huh. So when I saw where you I'm like, "Oh, I gotta get her on because you can't" it's very rare to get 2 Detroiters here.
Hey, well, I was on with, Carrie last week. She from the D. She from Detroit.
She is.
Okay, so
She is. There's a few of us.
absolutely. Yeah,
We
yeah.
but if you notice, we all escaped.
That's for a reason. Okay? I was like, okay, I left. Okay, well, I don't know if I want to go there, but you asked me why I come here. So see all the benefits is the reason why I chose to come to Alaska. They had the position available, so
Right.
I had my name on it. I like that's my position. Anytime you're going for a job, you say that's my job, and that helps you to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is mine. You claim it.
So, knowing your background, okay?
Okay.
So this is one of my bigger questions I had. So we start way out here and we're gonna narrow this down, right? So how do you initially speak to somebody when they come to you for counseling? Okay. And like, Margaret, I have been applying for work. I've got 10 years in it. This is what my skill sets are, but I just feel like I'm not being seen. I am not me personally, like not as whether it's a male, female, black, white, Native American Indian, it doesn't matter. How do I be seen by a prospective employer or even by my own supervisors at the company I work for to show my value? How do you start that conversation in counseling that individual to find their inner strength that either they may not be demonstrating at the workplace, or how is it that it's not showing up on their CV or their resume when they're looking for another job from a professional standpoint?
Well, it was just one of the things, like I said to you earlier, is you got to know who you are. You got to know what you want, and have to go out, put yourself out there for it. Like I just said, claim that job. This is my job. Start there. And then what are all the things that I have to do? I do my research on that particular company, find out what their values are, find out their mission, their vision and their purpose. Does that align to you with you, your body, and your values? If it's in alignment, go for it. If it's not, keep searching.
But
That's my
how
answer.
does a prospective employee even know that without having ever worked there? How do they find that out if it's not clear cut in the company's web pages, their prospectives, they're not even if they haven't had an initial interview yet? How do you know for
Well,
sure?
I know where the interview is going to be. I can go to the area. I can get a sense of the place. I can see how I feel around the area.
Are you talking about recon?
Maybe yes, of
Like,
course.
you gotta do some
That's the
recon.
military. Exactly. You get it one way or the other. All right. You do your homework one way or the other.
So I wanna know, so let's say you have somebody, so what if that person just doesn't have it within them? They're like, there's type A personalities, type B personalities, there's people who are entrepreneurial, there's those that are, um those are and just some people are just passive. They wanna be just kind of given the work and they wanna just do the work, but inherently they come to you and there's this drive to wanna be better for themselves or their families, right? But they just don't have it within themselves to know the path. How do you how do you train them to get them, not that that's gonna change their personality, but how do you counsel somebody to be somebody that they really aren't built for, but they know that they have to get to that point in order to change their
Well,
how do you change their life in the positive way without doing damage to their psyche and their personality of who they are at their core?
they have to understand what coaching is, what the benefits, and what the you have to put in the work. If you're not willing to do the work, it's not going to help you. That's the first thing. You also have to know what you want. What are you coming to me for? What is it that you want to work on? We can't work on uh, everything at one time. Pick
Mhm.
one thing that we're going to work on, and let's work on that. And then we'll see how that works step by step. And through that step by step iterative process, we slowly build your confidence. And then from there, then you start to, uh, you're narrow here. Then you start to allow yourself to open up your mind and your heart. And then you'll start to see other things. It's like that little train that could. I think I can. I think I can. And you just take it step by step. Because if you take it on too much, you are going to self destruct. So, little small things that we can do to help build your confidence. Okay.
So how do you tell somebody who is pedigreed to the wazoo? They've got their resume looks amazing. They're they 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 have all the skill sets checked off the box, okay? But they go in interview after interview after interview, and they're not seeing the results in the jobs that they know that they're qualified for. And I would imagine after maybe 3, 4, 5 interviews, you start thinking the applicant has the person that is working with you might have to say to themselves, "There's gotta be some internal prejudice going." That it that there must be some organizational internal prejudice, that there's something either about my physical look, my temperament, the way I'm dressed. I mean, at some point, you know, who you are that you're showing is not matching up to the paper that they see when
And
they right.
and that's the thing. We have to mirror ourselves. What we project into the world, um, that's what people see, that's what we think, but people might be seeing otherwise. So what is this negative self-thoughts that you are saying inside yourself?
Mm.
Because that is also, it's like laws of attraction. If you're thinking negatively about yourself, the negative things are coming to you instead of positive. You got to flip the script and start saying these positive things. Like I said, this is my job. I'm going in there and I'm going to knock it out the park. Okay? You got to set yourself up. I'm going to tell you how many times I've applied for a federal position. There might be 10,000 applicants and only two positions. Common sense to tell you the odds are too freaking high. Okay. So
Right.
you need to not just put your eggs in one basket ever. You need to put your places in more than one place. You need to figure out, okay, I got this buddy that works over here with the DHS, let's say DHS. I'm just using that as an example. I'm going to see
The
what
non the
he can help
non-ice
do to help
component
me.
the non-ice component of DHS.
I'm just using that for example,
I know.
okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. See, so you got to use other things. You can't just say, I'm just gonna apply for this job and that's it. Okay, when you apply for this job, what are the key words that they're using for that position? Look at the job description. They're using these words. Okay, well, how can you duplicate those words within your experience and put it down? Okay, you have to be competitive thinking. You got to be forward thinking. You can't just think just because I put it out there, something's gonna come back. It don't work that way.
Especially considering that most companies, including the government now, are using AI to scrub resumes, right? So you have to use AI to beat the AI, at least on
Well,
paper.
I'm not looking for a job
No, 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 I
specifically.
know you're not
Okay,
looking neither am I, I'm just
but
saying.
yes, we
Yep,
have to use all the tools necessary because look at LinkedIn. You know how many coaches there are out there. Okay, but Tony Robbins and all these people, they're coaches. All of them are rich. They're not necessarily certified. They
right.
have built this brand, okay, and they put themselves out there. They've been consistent. They got all these, okay, and then, like you said, credibility. Credibility speaks volumes. When you have credibility, okay, and you can go out there, you can exert your power, and okay. But most of us, we have to work for a living, and hopefully we get up to that status.
I
I don't look at.
I tell my residents that I train, I want you to practice on, and I tell them, go on go on LinkedIn, go on Substack, go on YouTube, and just start practicing doing live interviews, because this teaches you how to interact with another person, even if it's your classmate. Just do a quick live or whatever it is, and just practice doing interviews because so many of the younger populations that I train are like it's like talking to Bobo the clown. Like they don't have social skills. And whether they want to blame COVID or they want to blame, what I blame is this, right? This I blame, right? Because they spend more time on here than they do doing this to another human being. And while you and I are probably, God, 4,000 miles apart, right? We are having a live conversation in real time, eye to eye. And I'm not looking down at myself. I'm looking up at the camera. So I've had a lot of practice doing live. So I know to look at the camera so it looks like I'm actually speaking to you and I'm not looking at my microphone. Right?
Okay.
A lot of it's just training. A lot of it's just retraining the brain how to interact, because your first interview most likely is going to be something like this.
I'm gonna tell you, when I first started, I couldn't even write my hero post. Okay, and Veronica gave me. She was like my cheerleader. She's like, you got this. You can do this. Let's go. And I did that. And look at today. I'm on. I can't tell you how many interviews I've done with people, and I have learned so much from all of these things. Do what you're afraid of. Do what you're scared of. If you feel comfortable, then you can't grow.
I love
You
that.
only go. You only grow through being uncomfortable and taking a leap of faith off that bridge. I mean, or off that cliff, and say, "I got this. I've been training for this my whole life."
I love that. That's so powerful. That is such a powerful statement. Do and I tell my daughter this all the time. Do what makes you uncomfortable. We don't grow as people unless we forge the path not taken, right? It's easy to walk back. It's easy to walk the paved sidewalk,
Yes.
but go venture over there in the forest where nobody's walked and see what happens. That's the adventure. Isn't that what life is supposed to be about? I mean,
Yes.
it's supposed to be about security too. Like you don't walk in undefended. Like you don't walk in
Right.
without the proper right. You but I think I think the message that the reason why I wanted to have you on was because you have such a powerful message of giving people their own power. and searching for their own power from inside, that you actually allow people to find their true self through coaching. And that's what I love about your interviews is that you always come from that perspective. And
Thank
that's
you so much.
and that's what drew me in the interview with Nick and why I wanted to have you on was because I wanted 30 minutes to well, we have like maybe 10 minutes left. I wanted to explore like how you encourage this, how you got, first of all, that power within yourself to be able to teach that to other people because that's a skill. Not everybody can do that.
Well, I didn't have that. So I always wanted to find a way to help others, to bring others forward. Like again, I'm using a analogy with Harriet Tubman, for example. She got free. Okay, she didn't stop there. She went back to bring others with her, and that should be each and every one of ours uh, aspect in life is to give back and to pass the baton to someone else. Okay, to pass the baton to someone else to help to prepare the future generations. Okay, because they're gonna have it much worse than I ever did.
Like, no shit.
Okay,
It
I'm
was
not okay. What does that look like? It looks like to keep my sanity and try to help them. Like, look, it's gonna be really really difficult. So I'm gonna be here to help you, but you got to do your part because if you don't do your part, then you can get out of line and go and figure it out in your mind. And I'm gonna help the next person in line because I'm only gonna be here for a certain amount of time. Okay,
we're here for
and
this amount of time and
exactly.
yeah,
And I want to make it worth it. And if you're not about your business, handling your business, then go away. Period. Bye.
that's a
That's where I'm
Detroit
at
thing.
today.
Maybe that's a Detroit thing. Handle your business. That it actually started in
Exactly.
that was a Detroit thing. We always tell this, "Handle your business."
If I gotta tell you that, then it's not worth talking to you anymore. Period.
Absolutely. So, we were joking earlier, like because I had given her a code word that only people from Detroit would know. So here's another one. Ready?
Yeah.
Lafayette.
Oh yeah, the Coney Island. Oh my God, I'm on the Coney Island so bad right now. I can see it. I can taste it. Oh
So
my God.
there's a place in downtown Detroit right on Lafayette Avenue. It's just off of, the main drag. It's called Lafayette Coney Island. It's been there probably since 1935. It's literally like an old hot dog diner, and they serve a Detroit Coney chili dog, and it's basically a really thin pork hot dog with chili,
Mm, mm,
onions,
mm.
mustard, and that's
But they
that's
had,
great Coney.
but they had two of them. One
Yep,
on both sides. I went to
and the other
both.
one was American.
Yeah.
Same family, by the way. They opened up 2 of the same it was the same exact family.
Oh, and
'Cause
another one.
you grew up in Highland Park, right?
I stayed there too. Okay,
Okay.
right off of Woodward. Yeah, I did.
Mhm.
And I went to Highland Park Community College. I walked to school, okay, and got my associate's degree. And by getting that associate's degree, I was able to get a job with the Corps of Engineers because the guy that I went to school with had a sister that worked in program management. He said, "Give me your resume, and I will give it to her." And that's how I got that job. So that's what I'm saying. You have to find a workaround,
Mhm.
okay? Because you can apply for these jobs forever. But if you don't know nobody in there, you have to
It's
use,
how
you have to.
it's how Costco hires. Costco only hires from people that they are referred to and who knows the person, so there's always a personal reference to get into Costco, right?
That's why it's important to know is who you know and who knows you. That's why these connections are so important.
That is the world revolves like, I've been doing what I do 25 years, you've been doing what you're doing a long time too, and those of us that have the life experiences of being successful in our respective fields, we all have a responsibility to connect to each other. And this is how I wanted to tie the last 5 minutes into, was how we get past where we are today as a society. It's about connecting to each other. I would never in my life have ever come across Ms. Williams if it wasn't for Substack. And now
I can
my life is now richer for having spent this half hour with you,
I
and
got
I mean, that's a half hour of my life that I just got more educated, and the other 30 people that are in the chat right now. So thank you for joining us, and, smash the hearts for Margaret because I sure as hell don't need them. It's all for her. To her, she's center stage today. I'll make you blush.
okay. I wanna say, Eric, I didn't know what we were gonna talk about, and I was really nervous because I usually like to come prepared with something, you know. And I said, I'm gonna trust the process. And I'm glad I did. And that's what we each and
Yeah.
that's every one of us have to do. And that's how we grow. Okay?
That's how we do it.
Yes. Make the world a better place and have more
Exactly.
joy and
And I think
freedom
this
in our life.
this is how we free ourselves of institutional and billionaire bondage. It's by connecting with each other. It's connecting with somebody who you don't even know how it's gonna go. That's the organicness of human connection, which we are all lacking, which we all need more of. Because
Who was that? I'm sorry. Who was that? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Was that Dionne Warwick?
no, that was John Lennon.
Well, okay, I'll take it too. It's all
All
good.
I need is love. Mm.
Okay,
The Beatles.
all right.
Unless I'm wrong in the chat,
Yeah,
somebody correct me because I am more than wrong more than once a day. I'm
so
like a
many
broken
people
clock,
have wrong
at
it.
twice.
Dionne Warwick,
Oh, it was Dion.
okay.
Of course it would be that. Of course it's Natasha calling me out on it. Of all people. Of all people, it's Natasha calling me out, of course.
It's all good. Much
I
love
know.
for you.
Well, I wasn't incorrect either because the Beatles did come up with their song that all you need is love too. So it wasn't
There's two.
and it was the world and it was the world of course. Here we go. See, now she's got my case now. now she now now Natasha's on my case now. This is so anyway. Um I have to get I wanted to keep this kind of on a short half hour today because I know you have a very busy day today. I have to get back to the Bama Palooza with Cliff and our 12-hour marathon later. So how can people get a hold of you? How can they find you? How can they just learn more about Margaret Williams, superstar superstar coach?
Well, thanks, but I'm at the Empowered Leader publication. Okay, on Substack, they can find me there. I'm on LinkedIn. Okay, and I'm on YouTube and other places, but nevertheless, that's how they can find me.
Now you
Okay.
have something coming up that's pretty special, right? You are launching a whole new thing, aren't you?
Well, yeah, yeah. Eventually, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. We all should be. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have talents, we have skills, we're unique, and so as we learn, we grow. Yes, I am.
Well, everybody, if you have not smashed the hearts for Margaret here, subscribe to her Substack, subscribe to her YouTube, and she is just one of the most amazing people I have had the opportunity to spend a half hour with, who I definitely need to spend more time with. We have to do another longer hour when our schedules permit, and I just want to thank everybody for joining us today, and for Margaret for giving me a half hour of her life, which is much more valuable than I could ever imagine. So and you guys can find me on Substack here at drlullove.substack.com. I will be on at 9 p.m. later today on the Bama Palooza with Cliff. I'll be talking about healthcare and national healthcare policy and how it affects our national security at 9 p.m. on Bama Palooza. So thank you everybody for joining. And Margaret, thank you so much for spending this short window of your time with me today. It was and it was just a truly blessed half an hour.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for trusting
Bless.
me.
Yes, and blessings. Yes.
Thank you so much. And you have a fantastic rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.